Do you ever feel totally confused or drained in certain relationships? It might not be you that you're doing something wrong. It could be that the other person has some narcissistic traits. Let's work together to uncover the truth. My name's Dr. Kaur, and I'll share with you 5 critical insights of narcissism that can transform how you navigate these type of relationships. And the truth is, you're going to meet someone that has narcissistic traits. Some people say it's 1 in 10, some people say it's 1 in 6. Stick around, because the last insight will empower you to stay in a space of peace and healing and a space of being able to still be yourself. Lesson number 1. Many people believe narcissism is like a clinical diagnosis. It's really more of personality style. Someone that could be introverted or you could be extroverted. And sometimes we can see the narcissist as someone that's very confident, very sure of themselves, very powerful, or have a lot of power because they have a lot of power and control over other people. But actually, in reality, it's completely the opposite. They are deeply insecure, embedded in a space of fear. They have a lot of shame. They have a lot of guilt. So much so that if you remember Narcissist's story, he fell in love with his own reflection in the water. So if we can really look at this whole concept of narcissism, someone that is so in love with the reflection of themselves, but not really in love with who they are. They have nothing but like an image, a reflection of who they want to be, how they want to be seen. But in essence, they have no depth. There's no human being there. It's just a reflection trying to portray into the world. They don't have that connection to themselves because they don't feel loved. They don't feel worthy of being loved. They have a lot of shame. They have a lot of guilt. And that's what they are desperately trying to prevent other people from seeing. So they only want other people around them to see this reflection of what they want to portray, but not for anyone to see the real them. You can't love a reflection. There's nothing to love there. It's just an illusion. How can we love that? It's not real. One thing we have to really understand is this person is deeply vulnerable. They're constantly fighting for you to just see the reflection of them and not them themselves. They live in fear. They live and breathe and move in fear. They don't know love. They are trying to control you through fear, through domination, through making you less human. To, in a way, dehumanize themselves. So they will dehumanize you too. They won't see you as a human being because all they're working towards is creating this illusion, this reflection, and falling in love with that. And they want you to fall in love with that as well. Live in this fantasy. It's really important to understand this so you can protect yourself. You want to be able to experience life as a human being. Don't waste your time trying to diagnose this person, but it's important to recognize the patterns of behavior. When you're showing them reality, they lie, manipulate, gaslight, rage, dehumanize you, devalue you, so that you can only see this illusion, this rather than reality. Lesson number 2, you cannot change a narcissist. Trying to change a narcissist and trying to get them to see themselves, they have that lack of awareness. They can't see themselves. It's like you're trying to change a dog into a cat or a cat into a dog. It's never going to happen. Or you're trying to change the weather. You have to accept the person for who they are. And that, in a way, is where we come from, a space of love. When we can truly love another human being, we're saying, I see you as you are. I accept you as you are. And I see the narcissist as they are. And I can see the pain they're going through, and they can't see themselves. They're living in this illusion. They want me to have a relationship with an illusion, and I don't want to relate to an illusion. I want to relate to a real human being. I want to love. One of the most interesting things is that There's so much pain in not being able to love someone. When we've been in a toxic relationship, we weren't allowed to love them. We had to live in fear. There was no love. It's futile. It's exhausting trying to change the narcissist. They have no interest and they can't. They rarely seek therapy. And if they do seek therapy, they're just basically doing it to get validation for that image they're creating. They're not really going to be doing the inner work. They're just going to be trying to use a therapist to be able to validate them that they're perfect and the other person is the problem. One of the key elements here is please stop trying to get validation from a narcissist. You're never going to get it. They're never going to validate you for who you are. They're never going to validate you for being a human being. You have to set some boundaries in place and really focus on your own growth and your own healing, and to be able to love life, to love yourself, to accept and be yourself. Lesson number 3, narcissists are made, they're not born that way. Psychopaths are different, but narcissists are different. So you are going to uncover that they have a lot of trauma. They have had a lot of trauma. There is a lot of pain. They probably didn't get loved the way they needed. They probably got either mollycoddled, or they were excessively pampered but not really loved, or they were traumatized and abused in a different way as well. So narcissism was created so they could cope. They could cope with being loved in the way that they needed to be loved, to be seen as being able. So they had to create this illusion of themselves. They lived in environments that were chaotic. So one actionable tip here is you have to recognize you're going to come across people that have trauma, but that is not an excuse for harmful behavior where they're dehumanizing you and devaluing you. That is absolutely no excuse. Their trauma is no excuse for that. And that helps you detach and protect yourself, because if they're dehumanizing you, they have dehumanized themselves and create an image of themselves that they want you to love. Are you really looking to love an image, or do you want to love? You have to love and stay connected to yourself because you are worthy of love. Lesson number 4, to learn to protect yourself, you do need to know at least 5 of the key red flags of narcissism. Will react with rage. They live in a fantasy world. They have superficial empathy. They know how to empathize with people, but you will notice their empathy isn't consistent. They might be nice to other people, but when they're at home with you, they won't have that same personality. They won't have that loving, connected relationship with you. So how come their empathy isn't consistent? That means they have superficial empathy. It's not real empathy. They also have a level of entitlement. Everyone should see them in a certain way. They see themselves in a certain way, and they are entitled to have everything and not fulfill their duties or their responsibilities. And obviously they have a huge ego, and their ego is easily vulnerable. So if you see them reacting and overreacting and getting triggered to the point it's ridiculous, then you have to take note of that. If they find it really difficult to accept no, or people don't give them what they want, or they're not being treated like a king or a queen, then that is a red flag. And there's gaslighting. They will gaslight you because they want you to see the illusion and not reality. They are trying to change your reality so that you only see the illusion that they want you to see. That is a huge red flag. An example would be they might charm you 1 minute and the next minute they're dismissing your feelings. Feelings are so key in this whole thing. If someone is dismissing how you feel, they're saying you should dismiss your own reality. If you feel cold, you feel cold. If someone turns around and says to you, oh, well, you shouldn't be feeling cold. Well, this is my reality. That is a red flag, and you need to take note of that and see, is there another time they do that? Is there another time? Then you start looking for the behavioral patterns. Remember what we said in lesson number 1, it's the patterns that are key. It's not one big thing they need to do. It's the small things they do on a regular basis that enable you to understand what the pattern is and whether they're getting you to live into that state of a fear that we talked about earlier. And so the actionable tip here is document patterns. You want to see patterns, cycles of patterns. So they do this. In a month's time, we go round in that circle. And you'll find, okay, it used to be a month. Now it's every 2 weeks. Now it's every week. Or it's every day we go through this pattern. It's getting quicker and quicker. And that's where you start to trust your instincts again. And you can feel, oh, something feels off. I can sense what the next phase is going to be that we're going to go through. Lesson number 5, you need to focus on your own North Star. Healing truly begins when we can go back inward and really look at, what are my values? Who am I? To really humanize yourself again. Who am I? What are my values? What is it that I'm here to do? What do I believe in? Find your core values, your North Star. And that helps you focus on your authentic path. Who do you want to be? Because otherwise we'll create an illusion of us to be with this person. And we've lost our true self. We've lost our true connection to ourselves. And what we want to do is go back inward and find our true self again. It's not their fault. We're not here to blame them or get into all of that. We just really want to reclaim ourselves again, because that's where all the peace, all the connection, all the pain is that we can release and be free from. And that way you're going to be less swayed by the manipulation and what all the things they're doing, and really find yourself again. So start journaling about your values. Start journaling about who you used to be before you met this person. Were you vibrant? Were you carefree? Were you all about love? And when you're finding yourself, they're pulling you into being a different version of yourself. It's like going back to that list and going, this is who I am, and this is what I want to work towards. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. This is my North Star. How do I get there? What do I need to do to grow and evolve so I can get to that version of myself? What kind of beliefs do I need? What kind of trauma do I need to release? How do I feel safe enough to be that person? And then that will enable you to really look at, okay, what kind of therapy do I need? Or what kind of coaching do I need? These are the 5 insights to help you and guide you to understanding narcissism and protecting your own peace. Remember, healing is a journey, and that every step you take towards that journey, every step counts. And if this video resonated, please do like, subscribe, share, and comment. Which insight did you find most helpful? Let's build a community where we can heal and grow. And if you're looking for healing, please do look in the description, look in my link tree, and see what we can do to support you. You're not alone on this journey. Many of us have been on this journey, and we're with you. Sending you so much love and healing in the meantime. Till next time.